So good day guys. Today we're gonna discuss the history, the different standard time zone, time conversion, what is AM and PM, and what are the differences, and the difference about 12 hours format and 24 hours format. Okay, let's begin with the history. First, for centuries, individuals have estimated time depending on the position of the sun. Sundials were used well into Middle Ages, at which mechanical clocks began to appear. Cities would set their town clock by estimating the position of the sun. However, every cities would have a marginally unique time. The time shown by evident sun on sundial is called apparent solar time, or the true local time. The time appeared by marginally sun called the mean solar time or local mean time when measured in terms of any longitudinal meridians. Great Britain was the first nation to set the time through an area one standard time. The railroads threw most about irregularities about nearby cities, and they constrained a uniform time on the country. The original idea was credited to Dr. William Hyde Wollaston and was popularized by Abraham Wallet Ulster. The Great Western Railways was first to adopt the London time in November 1840. Other railways followed suit, and by 1847, the most railway used in London time. Okay, let's move on and talk about the standard time in US. Standard time in time zones was instituted by US, or the United States and Canada, by railroads on November 18, 1883. Prior to that, the day was local matter, and the most cities and towns used some form local solar time and maintained by well-known clocks. Different time zones. First, we're gonna talk about the UTC, or the Coordinated Universal Time. This is the primary time standard by which the world regulates the clock and time. It is within the 1 second of mean solar time at 0 degree longitude and is not adjusted for daylight saving time. In some countries where English is spoken, the term GMT, or Greenwich Mean Time, is often used as synonym for UTC and predates UTC by nearly 300 years. The first Coordinated Universal Time was informally adopted by January 1, 1960, and was first officially adopted as CCIR, or Recommendation 374, Standard Frequency and Time Signal Emission, in 1963. But the official abbreviation for UTC is official in English name, or of rather Coordinated Universal Time with French equivalent were not adopted until 1967.
Time zone. What is time zone? It's a region of the globe that observes a uniform standard time for legal, commercial, and social purposes. Time zones tend to follow the boundaries of countries and their subdivisions because it is convenient for areas in close commercial or other communication. To keep the same time, most of the time zone on land are affected from Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, by a whole number of R. UTC 12 o'clock to UTC plus 1400. But a few zones are offset by 30 or 45 minutes. Example, Newfoundland Standard Time is UTC 3:30. Nepal Standard Time is UTC plus 5:45 and Indian Standard Time is 5:30. Some higher latitude and temperate zones countries use daylight saving time for part of the year. Typically, by adjusting local clock time by an hour, many land time zones are skewed towards the west of the corresponding nautical time zones. This also creates a permanent daylight saving time effect. Eastern Standard Time or EST. It is 5 hours behind the Coordinated Universal Time UTC. This time zone is in use during Standard Time in North America, Caribbean, and Central America. Some places observe daylight saving time, summertime during the summer, and therefore use EDT or Eastern Daylight Time in the summer. So let's go on with in Pacific Standard Time or PST. It is 8 hours behind Coordinated Universal Time UTC. This time zone is in use during Standard Time in North America, summertime, and DST. Some places observe daylight time, summertime during the summer, and therefore use Pacific Daylight Time in summer.
So, just like Hannah reported earlier, the GMT or the UTC to EST has a different gap of hours. For example, GMT to EST has a negative 5. So, if you're going to convert it to positive, to EST to GMT, they're going to be the positive 5 hours. For GMT to PST has a negative 8 hours. PST to GMT has a positive. EST to PST, negative 3 hours. And PST to EST has a positive 3 hours. So I'm going to show you an example like this. So, sorry. So, for example, let's assume that we have 51 hours. So, if you're going to convert it to GMT to AST, you're going to subtract it to negative 5. So, if you're going to convert it, you will going to have 151. So today, I'm going to show you how to solve this time zone map by using this one chart. Your UTC is here. So if you're going to get the time here in the Philippines, you're going to add by 8 hours. Just like that. So for example, the UTC time is here is 11. So if you're going to get the time in the Philippines, you need to add it by 8. So 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So today, in the time of the Philippines, today has 19 or 7 hours, 7 p.m. So the difference between the AM and the PM is AM stands for ante-meridian and while the PM stands for post-meridian. The term of meridian is Latin, which is for midday, whereas the ante means before and the post means after. Hence, ante-meridian, also known as AM, literally mean before noon, while post-meridian, also known as PM, means after the midday. So the first thing that we learn about the time is that there are 24 hours in a day. Each hour has divided into 60 minutes. Each of those minutes then stands for 60 seconds, and the 24 hours of the day is divided into 12 hours segments for our convenience. These 12-hour segments are called the AM and the PM. The AM means before the midday. After the PM stand for post-meridian, which means the midday, after the midday. Hence, from 12 midnight to 12 noon. Each time is written as AM, while from 12 noon to 12 midnight was written as PM. PM means after the midday or afternoon. The PM time period is the 12 hours from noon until midnight. 12 PM starts from the second of the half of the day.
AM and PM. The 12-hour system divides the 24 hours of a day into two periods lasting 12 hours each. The first 12-hour period is designated as AM. It runs from midnight to noon. The second period, marked PM, covers the 12 hours from noon to midnight. The abbreviations AM and PM derived from a Latin word. AM means ante-meridian or before noon. PM means post-meridian, afternoon, using numbers from 1 to 12, followed by AM or PM. The 12-hour clock system identifies all 24 hours of the day. For example, 5 a.m. is early in the morning and 5 p.m. is late in the afternoon. 1 a.m. is 1 hour after midnight, while 11 p.m. is 1 hour before midnight. Ante-meridian is commonly denoted as AM. Post-meridian is usually abbreviated PM. Like many other sources, time and date commonly uses AM and PM, but the other variants are equally correct and widely used. Thank you.
Mark Beats. Batang pasaway at lahat sasabay hanggang mamatay. Rosta, dadaling ko hanggang mamatay. Di na pwede lumiko, di na pwede umatras, di na pwede lumiko. At lasing na lasing